Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In today's lecture, we'll discuss the first topic of the skin, the acute inflammatory condition or the acute inflammatory dermatosis which affect the skin. These are the three important clinical conditions which you people should know. You people should know about their pathogenesis and their morphology. Top of the line being the urticaria, that is the most commonest skin disorder. Commonly, you people may call it as allergy. And then there comes the acute eczematis, dermatitis, and erythema multiforme. Urticaria. This, as I already pointed out, that this is the most common skin disorder. What happens in urticaria? There may occur the formation of the allergic skin lesion. So, as it is allergic in nature, there is involvement of the mast cells. There is mast cell degranulation, and ultimately, when mast cells they are degranulated, histamine and the slow reacting substance of the NFLX is another important transmitters are released, which may cause the uh, capillary permeability, hyperpermeability, and local edema. So, mast cell degranulation is the top of the list, uh, and along with the mast cell degranulation, there occur the vascular hyperpermeability. Uh, Pruritic plaques or wheals, these are characteristic lesions of the urticaria. Generally, the lesion of the urticaria they are very small and red in color and may be edematous. Urticaria it may fade within hours, but sometime it can last for days or even months. So this is the reason whenever you occur some whenever there occurs some episode of the urticaria, the patient should use antihistamine or the steroid as the case may be. So, location. What can be the important location or important points where this urticaria or these allergic lesions they can appear? They can be seen on any part of the body, in any area of the body, but notably the extremities, especially the hands and the ears, they are very important. Apart from this, the trunk area that is more important. ट्रंक एरिया एज इट इज़ अ प्रेशर एरिया सो यहाँ भी अर्टिक एरिया के रीजन्स काफ़ी सारे डेवलप हो सकते हैं. Pathogenesis. When we talk about the pathogenesis of urticaria, as I already pointed out, the single important thing is the degranulation of the mast cells and allergic nature. So there is mast cell dependent. It may be mast cell dependent. Whenever it is mast cell dependent, there is usually involvement of the immunoglobulin E and eosinophils. And as you know from your third year knowledge, that mast cells and immunoglobulin E they are usually involved in the type 1 or the immediate hypersensitivity reaction. The second thing can be mast cell dependent and IgE independent. This subtype or this variety of urticaria it occur directly from the substances that cause the degranulation of the mast cells. There are few substances, there are few antibiotics and few dyes, for example the dyes that are used for the radiography, which are commonly called as radiographic contrast medium. These radiographic dyes and antibiotics they can cause the urticaria, but this type of the urticaria it will not involve the immunoglobulin E molecule. And the third variety is which is independent of the mast cells and the immunoglobulin E. And the most important factor by which this urticaria is triggered or which leads to the pathogenesis of this form of the urticaria is the increased vascular permeability. There may be some local factors that can result in the increased vascular permeability. Some certain drugs, one of the very important drug is the aspirin that may cause the increased vascular permeability and causes the urticaria. However, इसका exact mechanism that is still not known. Or third year MBBS में when you people studied complement system उसमें angio edema भी पढ़ा था, तो so that also falls under this category of mast cell independent and IgE independent urticaria. Morphology. पहले बात हो जाए ग्रॉस मॉर्फोलॉजी की। द लीजन्स दे आर स्मॉल, और पहले बताया कि प्रूरेटिक होंगे, खारिश होगी, इचिंग होगी, और इट मे बिकम एडिमेटस एंड लार्ज इन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स। और ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है, पेरीवेन्यूलर और पेरीवास्कुलर इन्फिल्ट्रेट एज देयर इज मास्ट सेल डीग्रेनुलेशन, सो इम्यूनोग्लोबुलिन ई मॉलिक्यूल भी इन्वॉल्व हो जाएंगे। मास्ट सेल डीग्रेनुलेशन की वजह से देयर विल बी इंक्रीज्ड capillary permeability that may result in the edema. Whenever we talk about the histological features of this urticaria, the collagen bundles they are widely spaced, क्योंकि the collagen bundles in between the collagen bundles you will find whitish spaces, and those whitish spaces they will represent the extracellular. So this is the gross feature or the gross picture of urticaria, a lesion of urticaria. You can see small raised patches having redness on them. So this is the classical appearance of the wheals or the urticarial plaques. And this is the microscopic feature. So 3 points are elaborated here. One is the edema, as shown by arrow 1. You can see a wide space that is separating the two layers of the cells, and this is the edema fluid. Second is the dilated blood vessels, that is denoted by arrow number 2. The blood vessel they become dilated, and as a result of dilatation of the blood vessel, the capillary permeability it increases, and the fluid from the blood vessel it comes out and spreads in the extracellular spaces. And due to this fluid, the collagen bundles they are separated from each other. And number third, and one of the important point, is the epidermis it will be completely normal. There will be no change in the epidermis in case of urticaria. Next is acute eczematous dermatitis. Just like urticaria, acute eczematous dermatitis, very commonly called as eczema. There are various varieties of this acute eczematous dermatitis. उसमें that may be due to atopic dermatitis. There may be drug-related eczematous dermatitis, allergic dermatitis. Eczematous dermatitis can also occur due to UV radiation, due to ultraviolet light, and due to sunlight. So these are the various forms of acute eczematous dermatitis. So these are the forms of acute eczematous dermatitis: atopic dermatitis, allergic contact dermatitis, drug-related, photoeczematous, and primary irritant dermatitis. Pathogenesis. Whenever we talk about the pathogenesis of acute eczematous dermatitis, remember third year MBBS again, the immunology, delayed hypersensitivity reaction. So eczematous dermatitis it involves delayed hypersensitivity reaction or the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction. So whenever the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction is involved, there will be involvement of the T cell. This was discussed in detail in the third year MBBS. कुछ दोबारा आपको यहाँ बता देता हूँ कि if you consider few chemicals, for example poison ivy or some other chemicals, some other poisons of the plants, they may act as the haptens. They may act as hapten. They modify the proteins, and those the self protein, and those self protein when they are modified as a result of these hapten, they can act as an antigen, and as a result an antigen and antibody reaction will start. CD4 positive T cell will be activated, then macrophage they will be activated, antigen presenting cell that will present the antigen in association with the class 2 major histocompatibility complex that will bind with the TCR or the T cell receptor on the surface of T cells. Various cytokines are secreted, especially interleukin 12, and it will result in the activation of further T cells. So this was a brief pathogenesis of the acute eczematous dermatitis, and it is exactly the same as you people have studied for the type 4 hypersensitivity reaction in the immunology section of third year MBBS. मॉर्फोलॉजी इसकी इंपॉर्टेंट है एक्यूट एक्जिमेटस डर्माटाइटिस की। रेड लीजन्स होंगे एज अगेन एलर्जिक इसकी इटियोलॉजी है, टाइप 4 हाइपर सेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन इज इन्वॉल्व। So red lesion, red papulovesicular lesion, and yes, these are the two important terms, acanthosis and hyperkeratosis. Next picture में मैं आपको acanthosis और hyperkeratosis दोनों चीज़ें दिखाऊंगा. Exactly like the urticaria, and there will be presence of the edema fluid in the intracellular spaces, but is इसमें the edema that will be present in the epidermis, while in case of urticaria the epidermis that was completely normal. Perivascular lymphocytic infiltrate, yes, there will be involvement, there will be presence of the lymphocytes, there may be presence of the neutrophils. So उनके इर्द गिर्द blood vessel के इर्द गिर्द you people will find a large amount, a large quantity of these lymphocytes. This is the gross picture of acute eczematous dermatitis. Look at the reddish papulovesicular lesion that are present all over the face of this child. Again, another picture of acute eczematous dermatitis, and this is present on the leg near the ankle joint. So this is important. This is the microscopic pictures. दो चीज़ें जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताई, edema fluid होगा and that edema fluid will be present in the epidermis. Just compare this picture with the with the microscopic picture of the urticaria. Urticaria में क्या था? There was no intracellular spaces or no intracellular edema in the case of epidermis. While if you look at this picture, the large arrow, it is denoting the intracellular edema. White spaces हैं, that is denoted by arrowhead, and this represents the intracellular edema, and this is present in case of epidermis. While in urticaria, the epidermis that was completely normal. और ये भी एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट फीचर आ गया स्पॉन्जियोसिस का. स्पॉन्जियोसिस दैट इज़ करेक्टरिस्टिक ऑफ दिस acute eczematous dermatitis. eczematous dermatitis में जैसे बार बार मैं उसी चीज़ का जिक्र कर रहा हूँ, edema fluid, edema fluid. edema fluid सिर्फ होगा urticaria में edema fluid that was present only on the deeper surfaces, while in case of this acute eczematous dermatitis, the edema fluid that will be seen in the epidermis also. Perivascular lymphocytic infiltrate. If you look at the downward arrow, the small arrow, there is a blood vessel present in the central portion, and along this blood vessel you can see numerous lymphocytes. So this represents the perivascular lymphocytic infiltrate. The last in the list is the erythema multiforme, and it is a self-limited hypersensitivity disorder. And usually this erythema multiforme, it is associated with the various condition with various drugs. These are the few drugs: sulfonamides, penicillin, and antimalarial. Few infectious conditions, they are also associated with this erythema, and those infectious conditions, they usually include the mycoplasma infection, herpes infection, typhoid में भी erythema multiforme के chances हैं. इसके अलावा if we look, there may be certain cancers, certain lymphomas that are associated with this erythema multiforme. Few collagen vascular diseases, they are also associated, especially the polyarthritis nodosa and the lupus erythematosus. SLE, it represents the systemic lupus erythematosus, while PAN it represents the polyarthritis nodosa. Dermatomyositis, that is also associated with the erythema multiforme. So इन सारी चीज़ों को अब बताने का मकसद ये है कि erythema multiforme is associated with these condition itself. अगर ये बने तो these conditions should be ruled out. These conditions should be ruled out. इसके अलावा भी कई और भी conditions हैं जिनमें erythema multiforme हो सकता है. Pathogenesis. Erythema multiforme, it is characterized by CD4 positive cytotoxic T cell mediated injury to the keratinocytes. Keratinocytes, the upper layer of the skin, which contain the keratinous secretions. So वो cells जो उन keratinous secretions को बनाते हैं या secrete करते हैं, they are called as the keratinocytes. So there is cytotoxic injury or CD8 positive T cell mediated injury. This CD8 positive T cell injury, it is also associated with few other condition. For example, जैसे अगर आपने टाइप 4 हाइपर सेंसिटिविटी रिएक्शन पढ़े हैं तो वहाँ ड्रग रिएक्शंस भी आ सकते हैं, स्टीवन जॉनसन सिंड्रोम आ जाता है, टॉक्सिक एपिडर्मल नेक्रोलाइसिस आ जाता है, दे आर आल्सो एसोसिएटेड विद सिमिलर CD8 positive T cell injury. So they should be differentiated from this erythema multiforme. Erythema multiforme, it is more prominent, sorry, um, the level of these T cells or the amount of these CD8 positive T cell that is more prominent, that is more in the central portion of the lesion as compared to the peripheral lesion. If we talk about the peripheral lesion, for example, there is involvement of the CD4 positive T cell and the Langerhans cells in the peripheral lesions. Um, Next is the morphology of erythema multiforme. Uh, इसमें दो तीन चीज़ें हैं जो आपने देखनी है. यस, वन इज़ द टारगेटॉइड लीजन. इसमें बड़े करेक्टरिस्टिक टारगेटॉइड लीजन बनते हैं बिल्कुल, विच आर माइमिकिंग द टारगेट. The central part of the lesion that is more reddish in color, but the peripheral area that is somewhat pinkish in color. So this is the reason it is called as the targeted lesion. Um, so another important point is written here is extensive involvement of the skin, and whenever there is extensive involvement of the skin, it will result in the formation of the Steven Johnson syndrome. Steven Johnson syndrome can occur in any age group. It can be present in the children. It can be present in the adults. अगर ये further progress कर जाए Steven Johnson syndrome, and if it results in the necrosis of the skin, that will be called as toxic epidermal necrolysis, in which there is sloughing and necrosis of the skin. पहले हमने अपने लास्ट स्लाइड में जो डिस्कस किए हैं, they were the gross features and few conditions which were associated with the erythema multiforme. Now we will discuss the various microscopic features of the erythema multiforme. acute inflammatory dermatosis में जो एक चीज़ या दो चीज़ें जो आ जाएंगी, सब में कॉमन होंगी, that is edema. कुछ में edema नीचे वाले हिस्से में होगा, डर्मल पोर्शन में होगा, while जैसे कि आ जाता है अर्टिकेरिया या एरिथीमा मल्टीफॉर्म आ जाएगा. while in case of acute eczematous dermatitis, the edema was more prominent in case of the epidermis, जबकि अर्टिकेरिया में the epidermal layer that was spared. सो क्लासिकल टारगेटॉइड लीजन, जैसे मैंने आपको पहले एक्सप्लेन किया कि क्लासिकल टारगेटॉइड लीजन बन जाते हैं इसमें, एंड दोज टारगेटॉइड लीजन ऑफ द एरिथीमा मल्टीफॉर्म, दे आर क्लासिफाइड और दे आर कैरेक्टराइज्ड by having dermal edema. There will be perivascular lymphocytic infiltrate, meaning along the blood vessel you will find numerous lymphocytes. Similarly, lymphocytic accumulation may also be present at the dermoepidermal junction. Next picture में मैं आपको ये तीनों चीज़ें दिखाता हूँ. So this is the classic targetoid lesion of erythema multiforme. Just look at one lesion, the central portion that is more red, that is more pinkish in color as compared to the peripheral lesion that is more that is pale as compared to the central lesion. So this is the reason it is called as targetoid or target-like lesion. This is the microscopic picture of the erythema multiforme. Each and every point that has been pointed out, you have to remember these two important points. One is the epidermal lymphocytes which are present at the dermoepidermal junction. Just check the amount of these lymphocytes which are present here. There is a huge collection of the lymphocyte at the upper dermis and the deeper dermal layer, while in the perivascular lymphocytes, they are also shown here. There is a blood vessel, central blood vessel, that is pointed by the arrow, and along around this blood vessel numerous lymphocytes are seen. So this will be called as perivascular lymphocytic infiltrate. Spongiosis, yes, spongiosis can also be seen here. Like acute eczematous dermatitis, the edema fluid can be present in the epidermis also, while few Necrotic keratinocytes, they are also seen, they are beyond your level, so I do not expect you people to pick these necrotic keratinocyte, but what you should be able to pick at this level while studying these three diseases is the presence of the edema in the dermal tissue and the epidermis, the presence of these पेरिवास्कुलर लिम्फोसाइट। सो ये दो चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हैं आप लोगों के लिए, जो आपने समझ लें कि दैट इज़ अ टेक होम मैसेज about these acute inflammatory dermatosis. So this was the lecture of acute inflammatory dermatosis. In the next lecture we will discuss the few important chronic inflammatory conditions which are affecting the skin.